With 2 councils still to declare in England, here is the tally of councillors. Reform emerging on top, with Labour losing more than 1,400 councillors. And this is the change in council control. Once again, Reform securing the most gains. But with so many councils now with no overall control, it illustrates just how fractured politics has become. In a moment, we'll hear from our correspondents in Wales and Scotland. But first, our senior political correspondent, Paul McNamara, has this.
A Labour horror show got worse overnight and today. Now down almost 40 councils in England, obliterated in Wales and squeezed in Scotland. But the Prime Minister says he's staying.
I'm not going to walk away from this. That would plunge the country into chaos. But that doesn't mean we don't need to respond. It doesn't mean we don't need to rebuild. It doesn't mean that we don't need to set out the path ahead. That's what I'm going to do in coming days.
That response and rebuild started today by appointing the Labour Prime Minister, who lost the 2010 election, as a special envoy on global finance, and one of Gordon Brown's cabinet members, Harriet Harman, as an advisor on tackling violence against women and girls. Not the move many backbenchers were hoping for. Are they enough to win back voters?
No, and I like both Gordon and Harriet, but it is a bit back to the future, isn't it? I mean, we ought to be looking forward. They will bring certain skills, but in the end, it's Keir. That's the problem. Yeah, he can do as many resets as he wants. The problem is people have stopped listening to him.
So is the only way of Labour moving forward mean changing Prime Minister?
Yes. But let's do it in a proper manner. The Cabinet's got to look at this now and say, we are the collective of the government. We're the leaders of the government. We're the leaders of the country. And we've got to take responsibility now on behalf of the country, not simply look at our own personal interests.
And if Cabinet members don't do that, if Cabinet members don't tell the Prime Minister he needs to go, what then? What can backbenchers do?
Well, eventually, of course, they can move to a vote of no confidence. I mean, look, let's go down that road. That's what I'm saying. That is messy. It's difficult.
The scale of bad results is so vast, some Labour backbenchers want immediate action. The party lost Lambeth Council today for the first time in 20 years. It's now under no overall control. Enough, says MP Catherine West. She wants the Cabinet to elect a successor to take over from Keir Starmer.
If that cannot happen, and there are no leadership hopefuls who come forward tomorrow, then Monday morning I will put my name forward to stand for the leader of the Labour Party, and I will be seeking the 81 names that are needed to take to the party chair, and I will begin a leadership election.
Adulation by Cabinet and Conference alike is tonight facing the first challenge to her leadership since she took over from Ted Heath 14 years ago.
Stalking horse leadership challenges, though, can trigger earthquakes. Sir Anthony Meyer's 1989 bid against Margaret Thatcher paved the way for further challenges and her eventual downfall. It's not just the Labour Party divided, we are now a fractured nation. The SNP are the largest party in Scotland, but do not have a majority. Plaid Cymru is the largest party in the Welsh Senedd, but do not have a majority. More than 60 local authorities in England end these elections with no overall control. And on the issue of deals and coalitions...
No, and the reason for that is because if you translate the results that we've just seen in the local elections if you look at the analysis from some pollsters about what that would mean in terms of a general election, and it's not an exact science, but it's broadly around 28%. So we're a few percentage points away from what we would need to win a majority.
Are you ruling out doing a deal with Reform?
Absolutely. We don't want to deal with Reform. We want to make sure people understand they can make a choice to vote Conservative. If they want a truly centre-right party, a Conservative party, the only option for them is the Conservative Party.
No deals to be done, and for the Prime Minister, some ultimatums.
Paul McNamara there. Well, in Wales, the results were even bleaker for Labour, with Plaid Cymru ending 100 years of Labour dominance. All the seats in the Welsh Senedd have been counted. Plaid Cymru has 43, but is short of the 49 seats it needs to form a majority. Reform UK has 34, while Labour has dropped to just 9. Plaid Cymru's leader, Rhys Iorwerth, hailed the results as a new beginning and said his party will seek to form a minority government. Our Wales correspondent Andy Davis joins us live from Cardiff. Andy.
Jackie, I think it's fair to say that Labour is still utterly shell-shocked by what happened here. It was, for the party in Wales, a monumental defeat. They've named an interim leader today, but frankly, they're still wading through the wreckage of yesterday's vote. Reform, of course, will now be a big presence in the Senedd, the main opposition, and their leader turned up today with other colleagues to be sworn in. But the big moment here happened when Plaid Cymru, marking their historic achievement, walked around the corner with all their new Senedd members to be met by an ecstatic reception from supporters. They were cheered onto the steps of the Welsh Parliament today. Plaid Cymru, after so long in opposition here, now contemplating for the very first time leading the Welsh Government.
I know how many people are celebrating this momentous piece of Welsh history.
For a party 100 years old, a party pro-Welsh independence, for them no moment has bettered this. In the crowd, a tearful former party leader, Leanne Wood, looked on as Sri Napurworth spoke of a new beginning.
No UK government, no UK Prime Minister, now or in the future, can cast Wales aside or turn a blind eye to our needs and our aspirations as a nation.
It's a really exciting time. You know, we dared to dream, people believed in that dream, and we just need to deliver now for the people of Wales. Hugely emotional, and can't wait to see Rhun as First Minister. Thank you.
For Rhun ap Iorwerth and Plaid Cymru, this is momentous. For Wales, it is historic. Now the focus turns to how will the party govern without a majority. 43 Senedd members now, but still 6 short of a majority means deals will have to be made. But with whom? There are only 2 Greens and 1 Lib Dem.
The party will need to take a really hard look at itself.
Labour, whose leader in Wales, Eluned Morgan, was unseated in yesterday's colossal defeat, with just 9 seats now, said their focus was to start working out what went wrong.
What do you think this means today?
It's huge. It's change. People want change. That's what we're going to do.
One of Reform's 34 Senedd members being sworn in today alongside their leader, Dan Thomas.
I, Daniel Thomas, do swear that I will be faithful and bear
They now become the main opposition, transforming the look of this Parliament.
I am disappointed that I'm not First Minister. I'm disappointed we haven't got a Reform government. I think that would have been the best outcome for Wales. But now, you know, the people have given us this job to do instead. I intend to do it to the best of my ability.
From Plaid Cymru came confirmation today they will try to rule as a minority government. You're short of a majority. How exactly do you intend to govern, and have you started any negotiations with other parties?
I made it clear that my desire, if we were able to, would be to form a minority Plaid Cymru government. It's clear now that we are in that position, and we will reach out to others on legislation by legislation, on budget by budget, on idea by idea, so we can start making a difference to the lives of the people of Wales as quickly as we can.
Rhun ap Iorwerth will hope to be voted through as First Minister perhaps next week. The difficult negotiations, the horse trading, will soon begin. But for now, as he predicted last autumn, the hourglass has been turned. In Wales, a new political era begins.
Andy Davis there. Well, before Labour backbencher Catherine West announced a possible leadership bid, I spoke to the Cabinet Office Minister and Welsh Labour MP Nick Thomas-Symonds from his constituency in Torfaen, and I began by asking him how he felt about Labour's losses in Wales.
Well, we had a devastating set of results here in Wales. There's no hiding from that. There's no sugarcoating what has happened. And as I was out knocking doors, whether it was in my own area where I'm speaking to you from at the moment, or indeed more widely, I was getting a real sense that we were not delivering the change people voted for quickly enough.
For 27 years, the people of Wales returned Welsh Labour. Now, with barely 2 years in national government, they did not. It was carnage for Welsh Labour politicians yesterday. I mean, all of that points very firmly to what is happening at a national level.
Look, I'm not for a moment suggesting that there haven't been mistakes, and we take responsibility for those mistakes.
Labour had its worst set of election results on record. And Keir Starmer says he takes responsibility, the party must take responsibility, but he stays in power. He says he will fight on. You could write that as admirable loyalty, or his critics may well write it as arrogance or hubris.
It certainly isn't. I mean, the Prime Minister, I've known the Prime Minister for many years, he certainly doesn't have those characteristics. He's an extraordinarily resilient, determined, hard-working man who genuinely tries to make the best decisions for the country.
How are Gordon Brown and Harriet Harman the answer to those catastrophic losses?
It's about drawing on a deep well of expertise to help with that important job of delivery.
Which bit of Rachel Reeves' job is he now taking on? Does the Prime Minister not trust Rachel Reeves? How does Jess Phillips feel about Harriet Harman being in as an advisor on violence against women and girls? It looks like the Prime Minister doesn't trust the people who are already in his government.
No, that's absolutely not the case. It's about adding expertise, whether it's Gordon on global finance, but having Harriet's expertise in terms of tackling structural misogyny and all the great work that she has done, bringing to bear on that as well, can only help all of us.
The veteran MP Clive Betts said this was a case of back to the future, that Keir Starmer himself is the problem. People have stopped listening to him, and unless he goes, the losses for Labour could go on to be terminal.
I think that the Prime Minister won a mandate in July of 2024 to deliver over the course of this Parliament.
Yesterday's results suggest he's lost that mandate, don't they?
He hasn't lost the mandate at all. It's a 5-year mandate, and the Prime Minister is one of only 4 Labour leaders to win majorities in Parliament at a general election. So the Prime Minister has proven he's a winner in UK general election terms. The job now
I don't mean
is
to be
a
disrespectful.
job of
You
pushing
cannot
forward
call
on
him a
delivering
winner after
change.
yesterday, can you?
He led us to a victory where we won over 400 seats in Parliament.
So you're absolutely convinced he'll still be Prime Minister by the end of the year?
Yes, I am, and I think the Prime Minister, who is very resilient, will continue to do his very best for the country, taking decisions as he does, with the whole country in mind, representing a politics of bringing people together, not the divisive politics that we see from the populists who are offering nothing but fantasy solutions for our country.
Nick Thomas-Symonds, thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Well, in Scotland, the final results didn't come through until the wee hours of the morning. The SNP secured its 5th win in a row with 58 seats. Not enough for a majority, though, while the Scottish Greens secured their best result yet. It was a dark day for Scottish Labour, coming second and tying with Reform UK, who have made a breakthrough north of the border. Live now to our Scotland correspondent, Catherine Sampson. Catherine.
Yes, for years there has been an assumption, perhaps even an assertion, that Scotland is somehow immune to the politics and the populism of Nigel Farage. An assumption turned on its head by this result that came through in the early hours of this morning. The arrival of reform in Scottish politics is a seismic shift. Now, there is no official opposition party title in Scotland, but second place does determine certain things about where politicians sit, about who gets the first question each week to the First Minister, things that will need to be ironed out in the coming days as Scottish Labour now sits on equal pegging with an insurgent party like Reform in a country Labour once dominated, in a parliament Labour created.
On the streets of Glasgow, sounds of protest. Campaigners here had woken up to a new reality as Reform secured its second-place finish in Scotland's Parliament.
It's just shocking, it's so disappointing, and just it's so sad to see.
We do not want a party that do not represent all the people of Scotland. That includes immigrants, refugees and Muslims.
Get a big wave from everyone, please.
As Reform secured 17 MSPs, Scotland waved goodbye to the notion it is immune to the political tides shaping other parts of the UK.
What we will be is we will be the challengers to the SNP, and especially if they get into cahoots with the extremist Greens, we will need to scrutinise that. The job of opposition will be to scrutinise.
Big thumbs up.
Some of his newly elected group have already faced scrutiny for their social media. Senga Beresford previously expressed support for Tommy Robinson online. And in 2024, when the deputy leader of Britain First wrote, "In the UK, Muslims are demanding Sharia law is implemented. I demand that we deport the lot of them. Who's with me?" she replied, "Me."
Do you regret those comments?
No, I do not support Tommy Robinson. What I said is, he brought up the grooming gangs. I think somebody like that, yes, that's a great thing to do. Right, okay. Child rape is not acceptable anywhere.
So when Anna Starmer says people like you want to deport his children because she wants to deport all Muslims.
I never said that either.
Scottish Labour's Anna Starmer could have been a contender for First Minister. But after tying with Reform in distant second place, he stayed distant from cameras today as questions swirled about his strategy. Celebrations, though, in Edinburgh for John Swinney, a third decade in power and fifth term in office. SNP! After falling short of a majority, he's likely to form a minority government and is promising to try and find common ground with any party except one.
I'm going to engage in discussions with the leaders of all political parties. I won't be inviting Reform in to have those discussions. I will invite the other party leaders to come in to have those discussions individually, and I'll start that process next week.
The SNP have cemented their position as the dominant force in Scotland, but may have to rely heavily on the strengthened Scottish Greens for support. Together, they'll form the largest pro-independence majority this Parliament has seen, as Scotland's political map shifts again.